Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Slow Customs. And in today's episode, we'll be looking at my custom Bill and Ben. Now, I started on this maybe 2 days ago, and I've kind of put it off a little bit just because Bill didn't have a second wheel. But I figured I might as well make the video before I start school, and I can finish him maybe next week, once I get my spare wheel. So anyway, let's get into it. So we'll obviously look at Ben here. Ben is pretty much 100% scratch made. I took inspiration from the Scottish Twits, really good custom maker, but he had made his own version of Bill and Ben that were smaller and just overall looked a little more accurate. So I kind of wanted to do that for myself, and I didn't have a Bill and Ben yet that I would use for my series, so I figured might as well just make my own how I want them. So that's why I came up with these. So we'll kind of look at the bottom here real quick. The bottom is just a piece of wood with push-along Thomas wheels hot glued to the bottom. So it's just like a spare piece of wood that I had that I cut down to size, made sure it was the right thickness, and then I just glued that onto the running board. And then I glued the wheels right onto the chassis itself. I think it works. These guys roll really well, actually. Can't wait to put the other wheel on Bill. So yeah. The footplate or running board, that is just a piece of cardboard that was cut down and stuck on. I originally wanted to use popsicle sticks to get like a good flat surface, but I decided against it just because I figured it'd be easier just to use cardboard and use tape to like cover up the sides and whatnot. And yeah, it worked. So the masking tape I used was just the standard masking tape that I use for pretty much all my customs. I just cut out a strip, made sure it lined up, and then I just kind of like cut out around the wheels there. And yeah, it turned out really nice, actually. Works really well. The front part for Ben is just a piece of cardboard that was cut off of a Pepsi box. I decided to make them have angled corners on the buffer beam just because I didn't really want to add that little indent that they have, and I think it looks pretty good like this. The magnet is just a standard magnet from an off-brand engine. Now for the key part of the custom, which is the face. I had made custom faces for Bill and Ben because I didn't have any official ones. If I were to make official faces, or to get official faces for these two, I think I would use the Take and Play faces. I believe the earlier versions, but I don't have them at the moment, so I just made myself some custom faces. And honestly, I think this face kind of works well for for Ben. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of gooberish. These two goobers are just fun. So yeah. The yellow I used is the standard yellow that I use for all my customs. I think it matches pretty well to the original, so yeah. The SCS on the side here. Originally, I tried to make it that like lighter, almost white yellow, but that just didn't really look good with the one that I had used. So I just decided to put SCS as red, and I think it works pretty well, actually. You can still see the remnants of the original color. You probably could have seen it, but for me it was just really hard to see, so I just decided to do it red, but I think it looks good. Lining is just my standard red, same with down here, pretty simple. Little handrail up here, that's just the same gray that I use for the faces, as usual. The funnel for Ben is just a standard, I believe, 2002 Thomas funnel. I could be wrong, but it doesn't have a hole in the center of it, so I figured it would be a 2002. So I just kind of cut that down and stuck it onto the front of Ben. This little dome part here, that's actually a Lego stud that I cut off a Lego brick and just stuck on with a bit of hot glue. I didn't add the little center part here. I really don't know what that is, but it's on the models and I believe the Railway Series, so kind of bummed that I didn't make it, but I just wouldn't know how, and I really don't know what it is, so I just figured might as well just leave it out. The bunker for these two is 2 Lego plates, there and there, with a Lego flat tile on top, and then below it, to give it a little bit more height, is just a popsicle stick that was cut and sanded down flat to the brick there. Which I think it looks okay. This side's a little bit iffy with the sand, and I probably could have done better right there, but I don't really mind too much, to be honest. The cab for these two. So I took 2 Thomas cabs. I believe one of them was a 99 that was beat to hell and back, and the other was another 2003 extra cab that I had. So I just cut it down and sanded the bottom. Well, I don't think I sanded the bottom, but either way, I just kind of sanded the bottom and the sides and whatnot to get a clean cut and whatnot, and just kind of glued it onto the chassis. This little indent part here, that's actually used with Lego bricks. So that right there is another 1x3 brick. And over here, I actually used 2 1x3, I used a 1x3 plate there and a 1x3 tile on top of that. So, yeah, it works for that little indent in the cylinders there, so it kind of worked out. The brown I used, it's just the standard brown I use on all my customs. I believe it's called a real brown. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of inaccurate because technically it's supposed to go up to the corners of the cab and the black part there, but I don't know, I kind of like it like this. The doorway, same brown with the black on top. The red kind of goes up, or like goes down from the buffer beam around and up, like the standard model. But I decided not to translate it to the back, just because you wouldn't really see it on the back, and I don't know, I kind of like it like this. The window back here is obviously really inaccurate to how it's actually done on the model. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like an open window on that. So I kind of messed up on that, but like I kind of said before, this is like my own take on the character. I didn't really mind too much. Another kind of standout feature is that the roof is black on these two. I kind of forgot that the roof was white on Bill and Ben, so I just kind of painted it black, and I don't know, I kind of like it. Instead of having white with the running board, I kind of like the black roof, so yeah. The nameplates too, those are just printed out on stickers, or on paper and glued on. Pretty simple. Now we get to Bill. Bill is pretty much the same build process, pun not intended, as Ben, only he's a bit cleaner. He looks a lot better, to be honest, because Ben's saddle tank just kind of raises up. Oh, and I did make the saddle tank out of a children toy thing. It was like a wooden toy that you stack blocks onto. So I just kind of cut that off, cut it down, and cut it in half for these two. So yeah, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I think that Bill is a lot cleaner. I wish I would have given him the third wheel, because I used a push-along Thomas, so it only had 3 wheels. I have another one. I'm just waiting for it to get here, so I can give it to Bill. So maybe in like another week or 2, Bill will have his second wheel, and it'll be pretty much the same. So yeah, the face for Bill is obviously different than Ben. I tried to go for like a natural kind of look. I didn't really intend for him to like look down, but I don't know, it just kind of worked out like that. So there's not too much different with Bill, to be honest, other than his lining and probably his overall paint job is a lot cleaner than Ben. So yeah, I don't know, I like these two. I thought about giving Bill a side skirt for a little bit more difference, and to hide the fact that I didn't have another wheel, but I decided just to give him another wheel once the other Thomas gets here. So yeah, I am really proud of these two. Definitely my top 5 scratch builds. They're not top 3, well, they might be, but these are definitely 2 of my favorite customs of scratch build that I have ever done. So I'm really proud of how these two came out. So yeah, I think that'll be it for the video. Like I said, I'll finish Bill once the other Thomas gets here, and I'll just put him on my shelf with the rest of my crew. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.